Hello everyone and welcome to Big Rock Moto. Thank you so much for tuning in today. All right, so here's what we're gonna do today. I figured since we're almost halfway through 2025, there's been a lot of new motorcycle navigation, GPS, infotainment type systems that have come out. I've reviewed most of the new ones and I figured it'd be a great idea halfway through 2025 to round up all of the popular systems and just give you kind of a higher level overview of the pros and cons, because a lot of you are trying to figure out which system is better for you. Should you just use your phone on a quad lock mount like this? Should you get a Garmin Zumo or a similar device? Should you get a Carpuride? Should you get one of the Chigee options? Should you get drive mode dashboard? So there's a lot of choices that you have, and I've been fortunate enough to test all of them. Now, all of the systems have their own unique pros and cons, and there is no one right answer in terms of which is the best system. It simply depends on your particular needs. Now, I have a favor to ask of you. Whenever you're shopping for any of this stuff, use my affiliate links. They'll be in the video below for all these products. It really helps this channel out and helps this kind of content go forward. So I really appreciate that. All right, so the most common option and the most affordable option is to simply get a mount for your phone and use your phone for navigation on your motorcycle. So what are the pros and cons of doing this? Well, the pros are obviously you already have a smartphone, most likely. Also, you can use any mapping or navigation applications that you like and just built into your phone, download them and use them. Also, these are easy to connect to your helmet headset. You know, if you use a Cardo, a Senna, or some other brand, very easy to do that. So instead of connecting two devices to your headset, now you just connect the phone, and that's very simple. Also, this is very easy to move between bikes, in particular if you use sort of a universal clamp mount like I'm using. Because I ride different bikes all the time, because I test bikes, I use a setup like this, and that makes it very, very convenient. Now, what are the downsides of doing this? Well, there are some. Your phone is going to be out in the weather, in the rain, in the dust, in the hot sun, in the cold, whatever it is, drizzle, fog. Also, potential theft with your phone being on your handlebars, although you're probably going to remove it when you walk away from your bike. Now, modern smartphones have gotten really good with their weather protection and their capabilities, and I think this is becoming less and less of an issue over time. But if it's super dusty or super muddy or raining, I don't really like my $1,200 phone on the handlebar of my bike. So I think who this option is for is if you want to save money and you want to keep things simple, then this is going to be a good option for you. All right, what about using a Garmin GPS system? So Garmin has been around for a long time. I remember using old Garmin navigators. I forget what they were even called, way back when they were really pretty lame. Of course, by the standards back then they were fine, but by modern standards they were pretty lame. But now we have things like this, which is a Zumo XT2. You've got the Tread, you've got the Overlander, you've got other motorcycle specific or off-road specific options. And they're a really great option to go with. So what are the pros of using a Garmin? I think the main thing is the Garmin does not rely on your phone for GPS signal or for mapping. So it's a completely standalone unit. You don't have to have cell phone service where you are riding to have your maps, to have your location. And if your phone gets broken or lost, you still have this as a dedicated navigation device. And that's a huge deal for serious adventure riders or people who just don't want to rely on your phone. The other good thing about these is, like a lot of the other options here, although it's easier than some of them, they have a mount that you can move, but you can get different mounts for your different bikes, and you can clip it on and off between your different motorcycles. Makes things pretty easy. Also, the screens on these are bright, they're touchscreen friendly, they're easy to use, glove friendly, I should say, sorry. And they work really well in a motorcycle environment because they're designed to be out in the bright sun. What are the downsides to using something like a Garmin? Well, number one, it's a big expense. So, this one I think is $600. There's options that are over $1,000. There's also some more affordable options around $200 or $300 that I've seen from Garmin. So pretty expensive. The other limitation of this is you don't get, like some of these other options, you don't get Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. So you cannot just use the apps. You cannot mirror apps from your phone. So if you want to use Gaia or Waze or Onyx Off-Road, you can't put that on this screen as you can with some of these other options. So that could be a potential downside for you there. And you're just limited to the built-in mapping application that they have. So who is this for? I think this is for people who want the reliability and the redundancy of having a dedicated GPS unit on their motorcycle at all times and don't necessarily want to use apps from their phone. All right, I don't have this one in front of me, but let's talk about the Drive Mode dashboard software. So DMD, or Drive Mode Dashboard, they make their own motorcycle on and off-road navigation software that you can get for your phone, and they also make their own proprietary tablets that come in different sizes. I've tested these, and these are incredible. I would say the Drive Mode Dashboard software and their tablets are the best motorcycle navigation that I've ever used. Now, they have a more specific use case. I think that, well, let's go into the pros and cons. So the pros of Drive Mode Dashboard: it's the best mapping and navigation application for motorcycling that I've ever tested. It is amazing. There's a learning curve to it. It has a lot of functionality, takes some time to learn it, but once you do, it's really, really nice. The other benefit of this is you can get the remote controllers for your handlebars. So those of you doing competitive riding, or you want to be able to move your map and do things on the tablet without removing your hands from the handlebars, you get that remote controller. What are the cons to Drive Mode Dashboard? Pretty expensive setups. Once you get the tablet, once you get the mounts, once you get the remote controllers, you can be into this for over $1,000. So you got to be really, really hardcore to want to do this. The other downside to it, although it does connect with your phone and certain apps may work with the software, it doesn't actually have true Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. It is not set up that way, so that could be a downside for some people. So who is a Drive Mode Dashboard who is the Drive Mode Dashboard for? I just can't talk this morning. This is for the hardcore adventure riders who want the absolute best navigation system, or for people who do rally races and things like that. All right, I realized I didn't have the Aoocci sitting here. So the Aoocci C6 Pro. By the way, I've done videos, all the videos I've done on these separate systems, I will try to link those below, as well as all the links to purchase these products, which I hope you will use the link. So what are the benefits, the pros to something like the Aoocci C6 Pro? So this, as I talked about in my review, I think this is the absolute best bargain, best value among all these systems. So with my discount code, it brings it down to about $170. And for that, you get included tire pressure monitoring system, you get included front and rear dash cams, you get a big, bright touchscreen that's easy to use, you get the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. It's a phenomenal deal for the price. It really is astounding how they can offer it for that price. So the other pros to this are obviously when you're getting into the Aoocci, to the Carpuride, to the Chigees, you're getting an Android Auto, Apple CarPlay system. So what that means is that you can use any applications that you want from your phone that have Android or Apple CarPlay compatibility, mapping applications or other applications that you use for entertainment, for listening to podcasts or shows or whatever it is you want to do. You can mirror that onto these devices and use it, and it works just like your phone, and that's very nice and convenient. What are the downsides to the Aoocci? So I found that the overall build quality is a little bit lower on this than some of the other units, especially some of the mounting hardware and brackets and some of the camera fixations and things like that are not the best. They're okay, but I would say they've saved some money there. The other thing I mentioned when I did the review of this is that it doesn't have a power switch. You have to hook it into switched power on your motorcycle, which adds kind of a little bit. Well, I guess some of these other ones you have to do the same thing, but there's no power switch to turn it off, and I found that kind of interesting. So who is the Aoocci for? I think it's for somebody who wants all the features, but you don't want to pay a lot of money. All right, let's talk about the Carpuride tablet. So the pros to the Carpuride tablets are they offer a lot of functionality for the money. Again, so this is Apple CarPlay, Android Auto type of tablet, and they're pretty affordably priced. The other pro to these is that, like the one I'm holding, is a BMW specific model. So if you have a BMW with a navigation prep, you simply clip this in, and that's it, you're installed. So that's pretty sweet to have that. What are the cons to the Carpuride? The screens have not been the best in terms of the brightest and the most contrasty and all that, although they are getting better on some of the newer versions, I will admit that. The other downside is that there's no dedicated GPS receiver. Now the Aoocci does have a GPS receiver, but it has no mapping application, which is odd. The Chigees and the Carpuride, they don't have a GPS receiver in them, so they're totally reliant on the signal from your phone to be able to function as a navigation device. So who's the Carpuride for? I think this is a good device if you just want Apple CarPlay, Android Auto on your motorcycle, you don't want to pay a lot of money, and you don't need dash cams or tire pressure monitoring, go get yourself a Carpuride. All right. Last but not least, I want to talk about the Chigee. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, probably all this time. But anyway, so I recently reviewed this one. This is the AIO6, and earlier, I think last year, I did some videos with the AIO5 and the BMW version. So they have BMW versions, by the way, so you can get that specific mounting, which is very nice. So what are the pros to the Chigee system? So the build quality, just the overall quality of it, I mean, even just holding it in my hand compared to like the Carpuride is really, really high. Really, really good build quality. You get the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay compatibility for those of you who need that. And the other pro to the Chigee, especially this new AIO6 version, well, one, they've made the screen bigger, which is really, really nice versus the old 5-inch version, but you can sort of build your own setup. So if you want dash cams, you can add that. If you want tire pressure monitoring, you can add that. If you want bike monitoring and security with the 4G connection that connects to your phone for anti-theft and monitoring, you can get that as well. But I will warn you, you start to add all that stuff, it's gonna get very, very expensive really fast. So it's nice that you can kind of build the setup as you want. The downsides, already said that, it can get very expensive when you start adding all these things up. Also, the other downside is you pay a lot of money and you still don't get a dedicated GPS receiver inside the unit. And I just think that's kind of a missed opportunity when you're paying this much money. So who are the Chigee systems for? I think if you want the latest technology, the bike security and monitoring stuff, the ability to add the features like the tire pressure sensors and the dash cams and all that stuff, you may have a BMW, you may have other bikes that you want to move the unit between. I think the Chigee sort of throws everything out there and gives you all those options, although you are going to pay quite a bit of money for it. All right, so I hope the pros and cons of each system have been helpful. I know I've omitted some other systems that are out there, but I only have time each year to test so many things, so please forgive me. This is what I was able to test, and yeah. So personally, how do I feel about it? Well, what I've learned from myself, and everybody is very different, but there's a couple things different about me. One is that I move between different motorcycles all the time because I test different motorcycles for a living. That's my job here with this channel. So if I just had one bike for a few years, I'd be more inclined to like get a setup dedicated to that with all the wiring nice and neat and everything done, but I don't have the opportunity to really do that. So for me, what I typically do is I do like to have my Zumo XT2 just as that backup, redundant. It's not dependent on the cell phone. I can put my tracks in there. I can have that for adventure riding. For street riding, I don't really need it as much. For adventure riding, I like it. For street riding, I like to use Google Maps or other applications. And I will usually, whatever bike I'm riding, I will usually mount my phone to my handlebars using a quad lock or the SP Connect. By the way, the mounts that I recommend are quad lock or SP Connect. They both are very, very good. I've tested them both a lot, and I will link those below as well. So I like to mount a phone to my handlebars, and if I want to do stuff with phone applications, I just use my phone, but I do have to keep it plugged in, so hopefully the bike has a USB plug that I can keep my phone charged. So I will typically do that. I appreciate the systems that offer the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. I do use it on my BMW because there's an easy mount for that. But in general, I find that for me, just having the phone and then having the Garmin as well, that's a good combination for me, but your case may be very, very different. And there's a lot of reasons why you might want to have one of these tablets installed on your bike. So I hope this was useful. Please use my links when you're shopping for any of this stuff. It really helps me out. If you have questions, put that down below. If you have other systems you'd like me to try to test this year or next year, let me know as well. Other than that, thank you for watching, ride safe, and I'll see you out there.